Hello, everyone, and welcome back to GetFPV um, live stream. Today, we are happy to announce a live stream that we have been expecting to do, and we have been working with these guys because they're the best of the best for a while now. So let's say welcome to Angelo and Phil.
What's up,
Um,
Hello,
guys?
Let me see. Yeah,
to meet you guys.
how are you guys? How's it going?
Everything good? It's already
Everything
late here
good?
in Germany. How about there?
Yeah, it's 2 p.m. already. How about there? It's like 9?
No, it's 8
No,
now.
it's eight,
8, so it's
eight now.
six
Time to
hours
sleep.
difference. Time to sleep. Right. How's it going? I guess you guys been really busy with projects here and there,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. We are traveling a lot, and sometimes we are not at home for many weeks. And now we are sometimes at home, and sometimes we are traveling. Tomorrow at 5 a.m., we need to leave the home for the next days and weeks. So
Nice.
it's a
Nice,
funny
nice,
life.
nice. Right. That's really cool. That's really cool. Um, so you guys been I mean, the idea of this live stream is that we have a couple new products that we want to talk about. Because here we have had like a lot of requests, and I guess you also have had a lot of requests for new tools, right? This FPV market keeps improving, keeps developing new stuff, and it's really nice to to partner together and then get new and nice products to the market because we know that people will enjoy them. So in this case, I want to talk about a little bit more of the Mega Whoop. Uh, that's like our new tool. How did that idea came to you guys? Like, what was the request, or you saw something on the like on set, or clients were asking for specific things, or how did all this idea came to be?
Yeah, for all the audience or viewers who follow us a while, they know our partnership with Lumenier is for a long time, and we created a few whoops now. So it's super excited to bring another bigger one to the table. Because there's always the request to fly bigger and bigger cameras. So that's why we partnered up with our designer Boris and the team at GetFPV with Santi and Andy to bring out another amazing product, which is the Mega Whoop now. I think Angelo is holding the X8 version already,
So
and it comes
before
in two
we
versions. And we've been using it now for a while, and it's super easy. So I think we're gonna focus today on explain you all the details today.
Yeah, the problem on set was people are people want to fly bigger cameras on smaller setups, and that was our problem. So we used our lovely 5-inch Pro Whoop, and we many times we put the Naked Black Magic on it or the Red Komodo.
Uh-huh.
So, and it was super fun to fly, but to be honest, the Red Komodo on a normal 5-inch setup was really on the top level of energy. So
Right.
with a normal 1500 battery, you could fly maybe 1 minute and 30 if you fly slowly. So our idea was just to create something else in this maybe in the same space, a little bit bigger, but with a lot of power. So when you fly the Komodo, it needs to feel like a 5-inch, like a normal 5-inch lightweight rope.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I guess because I guess those are like the standards in terms of cameras that you guys are shooting in set, right? Like maybe Sony FX6 or Red Komodos. And I think that that's what usually the client asks for, right?
That's true. Usually they ask, can you fly the Ari, the
Wow.
Alexa Mini LF or something? Then we
The
say, sure, we can fly, but if you want to draw like this indoor,
right,
so you cannot perform like a small Cinebook.
right. Yeah, and I think that that was like a really nice sweet spot to get really good power against lifting weight, right? Because ultimately you want to have like the best quality in terms of cameras, but you like you said, you also want to have like a small form factor that is not going to scare, like be really scary on set, right?
That's true. That's true.
Nice. Yeah, I'm really excited about this tool. Like we've had built couple here. I have right over here just one of those. It's a little bit bigger than the 5 inch, like you said. But it
but
also
still small.
still small, exactly. It's still
Yeah,
within the form factor, and I really like the idea of the prop guards because I feel that this one, you have really good power to weight ratio, but you also feel that it's nimble enough to do maneuvers, right? Or like
that's true.
close to people but still follow a car, right? I guess that's like a really nice sweet spot.
Yeah, that's true. So you have enough
Yeah, and
power to
then
drive a building and fly indoor, or you can shoot with models on fashion weeks without any scaring people.
Right,
yeah,
right.
and
That's
like with any other drone, you what you can do is like we played already around with a few different setups or configurations like motor or batteries. So we use the 6S version, or we played around with the 8-inch version. So you can use everything. Depends on if you want to have more power or if you want to have more flight time. So it handles everything pretty well on 7-inch. So it depends on what your need is. So it's super easy to build, and you have all these options you ever want. You know, you can even like it has the mounting for the naked Black Magic if you just want to have a little bit more power.
hmm
Then you have with your 5-inch, you can put the naked Black Magic on it, or you can, if you want to build it with a gimbal, you can also use the X8 version. So we try to be as versatile as possible.
right. Yeah, this is something that I wanted to explain to the people that are watching us now is that this platform was created to be as universal as possible and as versatile as possible, right? Here, I mean, here with Cinequads and Lumenier, we think that all products should be compatible, backwards compatible to different at some sort of level. So let's say, for example, this one will have all the mounting points, like Phil said, for the Black Magic, right? If you have like the naked Black Magic and you want to mount it front and then you want to mount it on the back or in the middle, you could because you have like mounting points all around the frame, so you could like shift the weight, right? If you want, for example, to the battery goes inside. So in that case, you end up with like a really nice clean uh, top plate, right? So in this case, you can mount whatever you want to mount on the top, and don't worry about landing on the battery, because that's also something that happens with these platforms. That these platforms sometimes is really hard to handle the battery, and most of the other designs would have the battery underneath. But what that makes is that you're not certain where you're going to land and how are the conditions where you're going to land, right? So you
Yeah.
don't want to expose your battery. So I guess this platform was designed as more as a universal and so versatile that you can mount accessories and different, yeah, it gives you like different options to play around.
Yeah, and especially as you guys know, that all our products are really aesthetic as well. So also our designer Boris, he's like a perfectionist, so that's why everything is really well thought through, and you know it also needs to look super clean. That's why we are super happy. Angelo is just showing it now that the battery really sits inside the frame to make like super clear, a clean appearance. And also the other advantage is it, if you guys been using something underslung on set already, it's like you need to lift the drone around and you need to turn it around to in order to change the battery. And here is just a one-man show where you can just have the drone on this on just sitting normally, and you can just slide in the battery.
Mhm.
It's more like this DJI feeling.
Right.
So when you have you on the Mavic or something, you can just slide in the battery. And even there, if you want to have more flight time, there's another cage below where you can slide in another battery from the bottom. So you can even fly with two batteries, which is super nice also on the X8 version. So there is like the possibilities are endless. And we try to thought of everything that, you know, everyone will be happy with a frame kit like this.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that those type of features, um, you can only get them because you have feedback, right, on set.
Yeah,
And that's something that I also want to talk about. And it's we're creating these tools, not just GetFPV or Lumenier working by itself, but it's really important to have Cinequads because you guys are the ones that have like all these requests and we have all this quality, right? So I think it's a really nice match, because at the end of the day, we end up with a nice product. We end up with a nice tool that people can just use, like you said, really intuitive. So we end up having like this details and really thought out ideas. For example, I'll put the wait a sec. I have here the top-down shot, so you guys can have a better. So for example, we have the XT30s on the front, right? That
Yeah.
way we can have power output for we can output power for the camera, for
Yeah,
example,
the good
and
thing is
then
on this sprint parts, you can mount it anywhere where you need it. So if you put the camera on the front, you can put these XT30s on the back or in the middle.
exactly.
It's not a problem. You can mount it everywhere.
So according to what Phil was saying, I think that Boris and we did a really good job on being as versatile as possible because as Angelo is saying, you can have this print is mounted on a cutout on the frame and you can see that the cutout repeats itself all over the frame. So you can mount it here in the front or here in the back because it depends where you're going to mount your camera, right? You don't want to have your XT30s or the power outputs in the way. Um, so we did a lot of thought out into this one. This one took a long time actually to came to market, because we're using a lot of things that we didn't use before, such as a different, for example, power setup. In this case, we have the XT90 here that goes with a wire underneath here, then goes inside to have the powertrain here. So you will have all the electronics inside in the front. So you have this space on the back for the battery to go in. Also, we
Yeah.
developed this concept of having these prop guards that are like just this cage. So your actual motors are going a little bit lifted up, so you don't end up with all this dead, um, like weight in case you would have like just like a regular whoop. So there was a lot of concepts and ideas behind this design that I think makes it really look cool and work pretty well. That's something that I really liked about this design specifically.
Yeah. And since our designer Boris he is not able to join today, but he has so many ideas. For example, if you lift it up one more time, Santiago, where
For
you
sure.
showed where the wires is routed through, there's like a little cutout where you can put your finger in just in case you want to push the battery out. You don't have to pull on the wires, so you can just go in there and you can push the battery out from there or from underneath. So which is super handy and like it's always good for your equipment. We try to think of everything since we use them like only for professional work. So we know every little step will help you on set to make a faster workflow. And so there's a few hints. You can also like we have our standard GoPro mount in the front there, and so you can like do everything with this frame just in case you need to add another 360 camera to get BTS or something. And there's all kinds of things you can do with that frame.
Exactly. Or for example, if you needed like I don't know, if you want to stabilize your footage and you're using gyroflow to do it, and you don't want to rely on the gyro data from your camera, you can just mount a GoPro here, like a naked, or like a really small camera here that has like gyro logger. Um, so I think that there's a lot of, like Phil said, a lot of details that go into this one, such as the cutout to move the battery around. Um, the antenna mounts for the Immortal T, right? We have a vertical one, but then in the front we have a horizontal one. We also have the O3 isolated. I don't know if you guys can see it. O3 yeah, you can see it here. O3 isolated camera plates, um, that we designed specifically for this frame with aluminum to prevent from crashes, but still you get like isolated, nice O3 footage. But yeah, I really like this concept, and I know that we took a long time to do it, but it also has to do with needs to make sense to bring a product such as like this, right? That brings something new to the market. We just don't want to bring something that it's already in the market, right? So like Phil was saying, this is a tool that makes the workflow easier, faster. Not just it doesn't just look cool, but it has to do like a purpose. It has a purpose when you're like it's just the different details that are time consuming, right? When you're about to change a battery, for example, like Phil was saying, sometimes you will need another person to do it when it's like an underslung battery where the drone lands on the battery, right? With this type of concepts, we're trying to how to yeah we're going the route of in thinking how to do it differently, right?
Yeah, because in many cases, or in the most cases, on set it's stressful because the drone team, the most time the drone team has just a few bits of time. So, but a lot of shots, and when we see it also in many commercials, they are also using a lot of shots, but the most of the shots are shot in maybe 15 or 30 minutes. It's crazy sometimes. So our goal was to have a battery mount, to change the battery within 30 seconds with one hand. So it's really important to change it really fast and not with two hands like on the ACE 150 batteries. You need two hands. You need to put it on the floor or maybe a second person. So with the XT90 and fixed XT90, it's super nice to change the battery,
Right.
plug it in. Yeah.
Right. I guess those like we said, those details are really important because when you have when you have the drone ready, or I mean the drone like built, it's going to weight a lot also, right? So
Yeah.
handle the drone is gonna get tricky. Exposed propellers are gonna get tricky. Like all of these different details will make the workflow a little bit different and more difficult when you're on set.
Yeah.
I want you maybe to guys for the people that are here that maybe they want to get into the cinematic, or maybe they want to get on like bigger drones. They have GoPro drones. Like give me like a I don't know really quick overview of how it's sit on set. Like you guys have a team of two people. Who's doing what? How fast do you guys need to be? What happens if you're not ready? Or how far in advance does the I don't know producer or director gives you like drone team ready, or how does it work, just to get like an overview of how it works?
Angelo, you or me?
Yeah. You can tell it. No, sorry.
Yeah, usually it's in best case scenario, it's Angelo and me on set, but sometimes we need to split up, so we have assistants with us. But usually for us both, it doesn't matter who flies or who is the assistant doing the shoot. I mean, sometimes we feel like, okay, that's more, I don't know, a fill move, and then maybe it's something else. Angelo is like more suitable for the shot, so it doesn't matter. We always go by feel, and that's why it's important, so he can fully concentrate. For example, if Angelo is flying, can fully concentrate on the shot and talks to the director and stuff. So I'm doing all the settings and change batteries and stuff. So as less work I have, as more I can be with him also, you know, so like support him or give him some notes or some feedback from what I was seeing on the shot. That's why it's really helpful if you don't have to tingle so much around with the equipment, you know. If you have an easy camera mount where you can change the angle quick, when you change the battery quick, you know, all these things that are time consuming, if they go easy and you have your drone ready, again, it's more better for the shoot. So that's why we can focus more on the client.
Right, so for example you go and fly one battery and then land, and you have some sort of time to prepare again for the next flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually
Yeah, sometimes not.
yeah,
Sometimes not.
usually it goes pretty quick because directors and like DOPs are pretty annoyed about FPV drones because usually they have short flight times. You know, if they used to work with an Alta X or something, you know, they
Hmm.
have 25 minutes, or with an Inspire. but with the FPV drones, it's usually around 4 to 5 minutes. So they reset and get the shoot again. So we need to come in, land, and change battery. That's why we try to be in this process super quick, so they don't feel like, okay, can we now shoot? You know. So
Right.
that's why we try to be there super quick and efficient to have the drone back in the air.
Right. And I guess all of those type of things translate to the tools that we have, right? Not just this
Yeah.
one, but like most of the tools that I see Angelo have in the background, uh, translate to the actual need, right? It's not that we're just making any type of drone, or yeah, now we need a 7 inch, and that's because we just want to have a 7 inch. All of those reasons and requests come down to the platform because of a need, right?
Yeah.
This has been like
Exactly.
really thought out.
We always work together with Boris, our designer, and we give him some feedback. Okay, what is coming up next? I don't know if you need to fly bigger cameras or need something faster or more smaller.
Mhm.
That's why he's always working with us super closely. We tell him our needs, and the good thing is about him, he's not so much into the drone scene, and he's not familiar with all the drones that are out there, because I mean, he of course can fly, but he's not so much into the scene. So that's why he's really good, because he's a real engineer. So he takes all the designs from ground up. So he's not influenced by other drones or something out there. So he just goes by his knowledge about engineering, and that's why it's good, and that's why we have a lot of new ideas. How we can
Right.
like put things together.
Yeah, that's true. And that's where I also wanted to introduce this one, which is, let me put this camera perspective. This is our new camera mount, right? This is the new camera mount. Like Phil was saying, we from the ground up started designing this mount that it's also compatible with most of our products. I'll show you guys later. We have some of the other products that I want you to see for this camera mount. But we did had like a lot of thought also on the how fast and how quick can we move the camera around, right? So for
Yeah.
example, in this one, starting by the mounting points, right, in the frame. So this camera mount works also with different mounting points. So you can just shift the weight if you have like a longer lens or a shorter lens, or you want a wider shot and then you don't want to see so much of the drone in shot. You can move around, right, your camera.
Yeah.
Um, so that's one thing that went into consideration to build this platform. Also, I'll put this somewhere else. Also, we have these tilt plates, which are basically just this plate for the camera, so you can secure it with the different mounting points. We have a bunch of mounting points depending on the camera you have, and then we have these plates that you only need to unscrew this thumb nut. This thumb screw. Actually, this one is really tight. I don't know who tied it. Wait. But yeah, you basically just unscrew this one. Usually you don't need to tie it that much. And then you just unscrew it and then just lift this plate depending on the angle you want to get. And then it has like pockets. So you just screw it again to fix the angle that you want.
So you
And
have
we
pockets for each 5 degrees.
exactly we have like 5 degrees incremental. And if you want to have like a 0 degree, then you could remove these both of these plates, and Joe will show you later.
Yeah,
You
and you
could
can
remove these
separate.
two plates, and then yeah, have like a flat configuration, 0 degree tilt. Also, something that we did is that this plate, in case you don't want to use the tilt plate, you can use just this plate for the Ronin. So if you want to do like a dual up, which doesn't require any tilt on the plates, you could use this one, which is the basically the tilt mount pattern. So you mount your tilt mount here, and then you mount your Ronin on top of the tilta. So we try to do we try to do different things with this one, in case like in case you want to do different things, right? If case you wanted to do a I don't know, Komodo, or if you want to do a FX6, or if you want to do a Ronin, or if you want to do different angles, or you just want to do 0 degree tilt. So there are different things that go into this camera plate. And also
And
this one,
and
yeah,
also it's toolless, so you don't need any tools to
right,
just adjust something, which is also nice because you don't need to run for a screwdriver. It doesn't matter if you want to like turn it around, if you want to remove it, if you want to put it up and down. So like Santi is showing with the thumb nuts, this is also a big point, that you don't need any tools.
right, exactly. So like I was showing you guys, you just lose this thumb nut, and then you have, let me see, I will, then you have a full range of movement. Um, that it's also right now I only have the camera mount, but when you have a camera with a lens and then you need to screw, right, use the screwdrivers, it becomes really hard to actually set up the camera. But if you have this solution, which is like toolless, right, you only just need to adjust a couple things based on your, let's say, first flight, and then it's going to be really quick, really easy, and really intuitive, and then yeah, make the whole experience and workflow really easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And one other key feature, Santi, just to let me add, also the spacing of the mounting is also the naked GoPro, the naked Blackmagic mounting. So
Right.
this is also, if you could use this mount on your Le Pigeon or something, everywhere where the naked Blackmagic mount is, I think it's becomes now a standard
Right.
dimension. You can put it on any other drone too if you want to.
That's true, and that's why I wanted to bring this one to show you guys, because we also have in this one, we also have the mounting points for the naked Blackmagic. So if you wanted, instead of all this rig, to remove this camera plate and this isolation part, you could just mount this one in the middle, right? In case you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
That's like a different type of solutions that we are coming up with. Because, like I said before, we're trying to do as universal and backwards compatible as possible. And also, there's a thing here that you can mount these mounting points. You can use them with alpha gel. But if you don't want to use it and you just want to hard mount the camera to this plate and this plate to the drone, you can just use washers that we include in the kit. So that's another option.
Yeah. And also the other thing is it's like super lightweight, let's say, because it's just two carbon plates and a little bit of aluminum. So it's also not much weight you're adding. But throughout the construction, so if Santi can show, this is like super stiff, so the camera is not shaking around, doesn't matter in which angle, which is also super nice. And also on the top, you have some slots. You can, as you can see, those slotted things there, where you can put all the Velcro in there to secure your camera or whatever payload you want to fly.
Exactly. So it's really secure. Let me take this a little bit more. It's really secure in terms of it's going to hold everything, right? We're using aluminum on all the joints, and like Phil was saying, we're using also carbon fiber so we can make it as lightweight as possible, still with some structural components, right? So I think that's really cool. I've seen that Angelo has like couple. He has like a 5 inch.
Yeah. I have the 5 inch and I also have the 8 inch X8 here.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really love for indoor flights and for whooping is a 0 degree angle. So
Mm-hmm.
if I do industrial things or fly with models on the model show or something, I love to fly with 0 angle. So it's super easy to remove those plates, what you showed us, and just put one skew on the sides, and then you have the 0 angle, and then it looks super flat and super clean. I
Mm-hmm.
really like that.
And
Right.
also, like, why? Because Angelo is showing this so nice. What is always a pain is to get that little screw underneath the camera. You know, if you want to change your camera, So that's why it's good you have this spacing there, so it's easy to just change the camera and you don't have to take out your whole mount, because there's still enough room, to get pliers in between there, or even fingers.
Yeah, or just remove this thumb nuts, and then you can turn it off to the topmost position, and you can change the camera and put it down again.
Right. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
think that there's a lot of features that went into the whole concept. Like it's not just a big drone, but it also has to do with a lot of details that sometimes with big tools they are really hard to get,
yeah,
right? So when you're actually on set and then working with these tools daily, you start like think, how can I make my life easier, right? That's
true.
like the ultimate goal is to be more effective, more precise, and more like efficient with time.
Yeah,
So I will show you guys something here. This is basically GetFPV website. I want to show you guys how we have this. Wait a second. Yeah, so we have this page that is basically the bundle page. In any case that you guys wanted to like start building your Mega Whoop, um, this bundle
That's a nice.
page.
There's a bundle with a Komodo included. That's nice.
Yes, exactly. So this bundle page let us actually build from scratch what we want to do. For example, here you can add your frame kit, but you could also add your camera your camera mount if you wanted, or you could add the X8 upgrade kit if you want to do X8 instead of X4. You can add propellers that are specified for this drone, receivers such as the Diversity Nano, which most of the pilots use, different flight controllers, O3, ESCs, like the whole powertrain, ESCs and motors. You could also add the batteries that we recommend. You could even also add like a RS3 Pro if you wanted to do like dual op, or you could add your red Komodo if you want it. Like all of these products are in stock. Most of these products are in stock. There are others which are like pre-order, but most of these are like in stock um, to build up your X8. Or if you wanted, you could also let me show you real quick. If you, for example, you already bought the X4 or you are thinking about starting with the X4, you can just buy the frame kit and then later on you can buy the upgrade kit if you feel that you want to do X8 instead of just X4. Or for example, if you have your Pro Whoop, which is the 5-inch, but then you want to mount a different type of camera or use the cinema camera mount, that's also that's also something that you could add. So you could add this one as just as a different product. So we have different options to show you guys like how we build this concept around. You can start adding to a platform based on your needs. And then Angelo, he's gonna show us how he has mounted the plate on the 5-inch a little bit.
yeah. So this is the plate on the 5-inch.
Mm-hmm.
So I used it as the same as on a 7-inch, but here are some parts missing. Plus, so please don't look at it exactly, but yeah, it looks really nice on the 5-inch. On this is the X8 prototype. I really use the battery on the downside
Mm-hmm.
because I needed a really small form factor for some cases, but you can add it anywhere.
Exactly.
I
And
really like.
that's the cool thing about these platforms and this camera mount is that we are thinking about how to make all the products backwards compatible because we just don't want to make every product different. We want this line to be really um compatible with new products that are coming up so you can upgrade the products based on your needs. If you want to have like a bigger platform, smaller platform, that's something that we want to keep
Yeah,
doing.
like with all of our frames we're releasing together with Lumenier. it's not because we want to bring out the frame, because I mean on our side there's a lot of work, like with Boris is in he sits hours and months, you know, designing the stuff. So we're not doing this just for fun, because the purpose behind is that we really need those tools on set, and we just want to be able to share it to the community too. And with Lumenier together, we found out that, you know, this they can produce the highest quality on the market when it comes to manufacturing and materials. So that's why we try to have the best drone kits out there.
Right. Yeah, I think that working together on different solutions is also really important to give new new ideas to market, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes it's really hard to innovate, but it's also really important to like nail those different details and drones that are specifically for different people within the industry. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's true.
We do have some products incoming. We have more ideas and more products that are coming with Cinequads. We'll show you guys later. I guess you guys teased a little bit of one, but I don't know if people actually got it. I think it was on Instagram or something.
Should we show
Yeah,
it or not?
we used, of course, we use our prototypes already a lot on set. So we just thought, okay, let's drop that a little bit, because the waiting game is always a hardest one. But like Santi
Yeah.
said, we have a few another nice products. Also, like the community will love, like it's more towards creators and
Right.
then maybe people who fly with GoPros. So we have a few other nice frames coming out there.
Right. I want to show people here the Nano Whoop. I don't have one in hand, but I guess Angela has one, right?
Yeah.
So for example, what Phil was saying is that we also try to work on products that are more meant for creators. In this case, we already know that the O3 it's a really nice system that makes FPV so easy and accessible for most of the people. The experience of flight experience is really cool. So we made this little drone. So it's just like I just want to tell you guys that we just don't make like all big drones, right? We also make the smaller ones because we try to bring different new innovative ideas to the market.
Yeah. And maybe Angelo, if you can show it just to a 2.5 inch, what is a really popular frame, so you can see just how the size comparison is. Since we have like
I have
200
not seen
drones,
one here.
200 drones behind you.
But maybe I can.
Yeah, so you can see the size difference. And
And
if it's
how
about
flat it
hitting
is.
small gaps and doing creative stuff, so every inch matters. So that's why we have this super flat and tiny form factor. And actually, a fun fact about the 2 inch, Boris just came up with the idea to like just use the air unit as the spacing. So the air unit is instead of the standoffs in the middle. So the frame is actually held together by the air unit with a super strong screws and stuff. And then on top you see the aluminium heat shrink, which is connected to the air unit to disturb the heat. So even on that little guy, he went all out with like super nice ideas. So also hard mounted XT30, because since we use drones every day, we are super annoyed about wires hanging around and like fiddling to plug something in. Everything needs to be tight and on its place, like on a professional tool. So that's even on the smallest one. We try to make everything as well thought through as possible.
Right. I'll show you guys the Nano Whoop. We basically also have the let me show you. We also have like a bundle page also for the Nano Whoop. So for example, if you wanted to get the frame together with the air unit, you could. Also the electronics, like all of these pages have been built as a spec to the products that we're using, but also to ensure like the best combo that you guys can get in terms of build a nice drone, nice quality, really thought out, and yeah, everything you need to basically just build the Nano Whoop. For this one, we're gonna have an RTF kit in about like 1.5 weeks. So you will be able to buy this one already built, tuned, and ready to fly, basically. So that's, yeah, that's something that we are working on and will be enabled really soon.
And did you show the aluminum antenna mount?
Oh yeah, we have like different details if you want to go through them.
Yeah, because this is really my favorite part. It's so annoying or exciting to put the antenna, the original DJI 03 antenna, inside this antenna mount. There's a little slot for the cables here, and it's super exciting and super clean to put this straw into the aluminum part,
Right. So what we had
and
to
then it's
do
super nice.
is that we had to do multiple prototypes of that aluminum part in order to be able to have like the best fitment we could get. And also the idea behind that mount is that you don't have to remove the antenna from the air unit to actually put it inside of that mount, right? So you don't need to unscrew the air unit. It's just a matter of, it has like slot you just run your wires through, and
Yeah.
then that makes it really really easy to go through. Yeah, that drone is really
Yeah,
nice.
and also one other big point, you don't have to use any zip ties, which is super annoying. So
Right.
everything is screwed in and in place. And also it gives you that professional look and feel, because sometimes FPV drones are a little bit like, taped together and put together and stuff.
I
So
also
we
use
try
some
to like,
tape here.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, for a little bit of wires is fine, but I mean, not like zipping down the XT30 or putting the antenna with zip ties together. So, and
Yeah.
also with there, we use our battery strap where you don't need to do anything, just lift it up with the wire, with the little, what was the word for it? With the little,
What's
Santi,
the
just help me out.
English name for rubber?
Oh,
For
the
With
strap,
the
the battery
elastic,
strap, the
the
elastic.
battery strap with
yeah.
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
elastic cords on it. So that's also super helpful because you just lift it up, put it in there, and that's it.
And I guess, I mean, the idea behind all of these products in partnership with Cinequads is that we have all of these ideas that are different, and we try to bring them to reality, right? The idea is to have all these, for example, the battery straps, or the antenna mounts, or the heat sinks for the O3, or the isolation for the O3. Like all of these ideas that sometimes we have and never had like the chance to do it properly. Lumenier like brings it to the market by having Cinequads on board with all of these nice and crazy ideas, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's why it's always or sometimes takes a while because we have the ideas and then Boris like brings them to paper and in CID, and then Santi needs to go out and talk to vendors in China and all around the
Right.
world to get our crazy ideas. And like manufacturing all these like little components is like super hard. I mean, cutting powerboard is okay and it's gonna go quick, but having all these little small additions, what makes it a really enjoyable and useful drone always takes quite a while.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I think that's basically what happens in like the overview of the process. It's always like a long process, depends on the project, but I we always have fun, and we always have fun seeing people also using all those products, right? I was just like 2 days ago. I don't know if you guys. I think you guys saw the video from the Sphere in Las Vegas.
So
Uh,
nice.
and then there was a guy that was using the 2.5 inch. I was like, what? He's using the two
Yeah,
and a half
it's so
inch. Like
nice.
I
Here in
like
the corner.
just seeing these creators,
Yeah,
just seeing what they can do with these tools, like really blows my mind, and makes me feel happy because at the end of the day, we're doing things that matter. We're doing things and bringing ideas and tools to people that actually want to take the full potential out of it. That's what I enjoy the most.
yeah, I
Me
had the
too.
same feeling. So it makes us as a group super proud, if we see our products used for like cool stuff. And also like the video from Sam Calder, since we shipped him a frame. of the 9-inch. So he's like a real creator. So he does cool things with it. A little bit different than our commercial work. So it's super nice to see creative people using our tools too.
That's right. That's right. That's what it's like. These products are meant to be, right? All these trying to get all the creative people to do different things because each creator manages like different ideas differently, right? So I like this aspect of bringing new stuff. Yeah,
That's true.
I know it's already late for you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting us know what we would just bring to the market a couple weeks ago. Just wanted to pick your brain. Any fun projects that you guys already did that are coming soon in terms of commercials that are releasing soon, or anything that you guys are excited for that you can talk about? I know that you guys maybe have some NDAs that you cannot discuss, but
Yeah, we are in the desert the next month. So we're doing some crazy car stuff with super slow-mo cameras in a
nice,
very heat conditions. So I think this is super fun. And also next week we are in New York and doing some shots in a fashion week with a 2.5 inch.
nice.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. There are also a couple tools that we're going to be using. Um, we have a couple prototypes that I know you guys are putting to its spaces.
yeah. We try to
Uh,
use it. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes not. So
right,
it's super hard to use a prototype on set if you don't know exactly how it works, and so we try our best.
right, right,
But our goal is always like to use all the products in advance, months before we release them to the public, because we really want to have like a lot of flight time with it, so that we make sure okay everything works perfectly and it's the way we want it to be. Because sometimes you have this idea in your head and you like bring it to paper or you Santi make the prototype and then we try it out and we feel like maybe we could do this better or this better. That's why we always try to use them like months in advance on set already to make sure before we go into production that they're really nice and people will love them.
right. For sure. I agree.
Should we go about the comment section maybe a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah.
Santi, if you
If
wanna, if
someone
they have
wants to
questions?
have
So maybe people
questions,
can ask for 10 minutes and then we need to go to bed because we need to be awake at 5 tomorrow morning to go on set.
hey, Boris is in the chat. Hey, team, good to see you. Hey, Boris, what's up?
What's up,
Um,
Boris?
I see Mike Chin. Hey, Mike from TBS. Thank you all of you guys for tuning in. And then if you guys have any questions to ask Cinequads, we'll have a couple more minutes before they need to go to bed. So how are you? So is it like a local shoot that you're doing, or do you have to travel somewhere else?
It's 2 hours. It's in Munich.
2 hour drive?
So it's 2 hours from us. It's not too bad. But still, if you have like early call times,
Right.
um, you still need to like wake up in the morning and
Who's
drive
driving
2 hours,
tomorrow?
then be ready on set. Yeah,
Angela's driving?
Yeah,
Nice.
but
And then
I
feels
don't care
sleeping?
if I can sleep 6 hours. It's fine.
Right. And then feels sleeping.
nah. Usually I'm not sleeping, right?
Phil is sleeping anytime.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see
So
any questions
how
yet.
is
Oh,
the O3 good
is you?
enough for a professional shoot?
Yeah, how about you answer that one?
Uh, 50-50. So it depends on what you do. If you work on a real commercial and it's going to be a TVC or it's like a high brand thing, um, I would say it's not enough because you still need to have a GoPro or something even higher, to match the quality and the requirements on set. But if you do, I don't know, real estate and you do a little fly through and the request is to have 4K footage, I would say definitely you can use it. But it really depends on your project and what you want to do. I don't know if you do a fly through a restaurant or whatever. it's definitely great quality. But once you go on higher sets and you have really like high end commercials, it definitely needs to be a GoPro.
I think it also has to
Minimum.
do with the post processing, right? Because with O3 you're so limited by different factors that yeah doesn't let you post process the image fully, right? GoPro gives you more flexibility in terms of what you can do with the image afterwards. You can stabilize
Yeah.
it, you can color grade it. There are different like frame rates and aspect ratios that you can play with. I think that's what the different.
Yeah, but still, if you're just starting out in your professional drone business, whatever, and you don't have too much money to invest, so I think the O3 Air unit is like super nice because you have this 4K camera and you have your video transmission system. So if you're starting out and getting your first jobs, it's definitely enough quality, to get started out.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right. Perfect. Thank you guys.
Also, so many people are asking us on our other channels, is it worth to switch from a maybe Cadex Nebula to DJI O3? And I say you can switch, but if you don't film with the camera, you don't need to switch. The old systems are also good for shootings. So you can fly, of course, with the Nebula or with the all DJI camera. So or you can also fly with the analog camera, so it's not a problem to fly. But if you have a better image, you can see more, and maybe you can create better shots.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of when we all started, there was just analog, right?
Yeah,
And then we didn't even know that digital was going to be a thing. So, uh, I think that the system helps, but also the skills are really important in how much you
that's true.
fly, how much you fly in the simulator. Uh, Practice makes it, yeah, better. Yeah, nice. Thank you guys for being here again. I think we're
All
gonna
right, sure, no
wrap it up
problem.
for.
See you soon if you launch some other exciting products.
Yeah, for sure, and then keep us in the loop of new projects that you guys have. Um, you guys follow Cinequads on Instagram, on YouTube. They post a lot of nice stuff. They have a lot of BTS content when they go out and shoot. For all of you guys that want to pursue the FPV cinematography career, these guys have like all the nice tips and tricks. You'll see them like doing crazy stuff. So yeah, thank you guys again for being with us here today, and then yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you.
Thanks for
See
having
you.
us. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.